So here's the longboard wheels. They get my boat down to the lake, and there's the clear vinyl skin canoe, and up top is the original skin and frame Dacron canoe. So this is Pheather and this is Pheather2. We're looking at the connection here, and what we've got is this contraption. And I've got Jimmy likes to come along for a little while. Well, we've got 1/4-inch pins here. I'll just pull those off, and once I take this off, you'll see how it works. Let's take it off. See how it's doing. There. And so this is all part of the stem. That's black. This is raw. And this is what the wheel goes into with the 2 pins. And it's nice and long, so we get some flex there. Okay. So now I'll tell you about the whole disaster that we had when the whole thing fell apart, because the part of this all rotted off because it got wet in there. So this is a video about my connection of my longboard wheels to my canoe. They fell apart, so I had to fix it. Here's the problem. It's all rotted out. All right, so this is our problem. The stem's coming up. It was not waterproof plywood. It's rotted out, deteriorated, stressed out. So we've got to cut off a chunk of that. At least halfway down. Let's try it. So at this point, I'm taking my little fine saw and I'm trying to create a straight cut to cut off just the bad stuff, just the rotten stuff. And it's going to leave a little bit of a dip where that hole is. So here I go, I'm halfway through, and then off comes the rest. I've got to create a little piece of wood to fill that half circle in the middle there. And that's what's going to come up next with the jigsaw. What a mess. The stem's getting pretty small. So let's see what we can do. So let's sand it, moving quite aggressively there to try and make sure I'm doing it flat, because I'll be putting another piece of wood on top of that, just to make sure I'm into some good wood. Eventually my pins will have to go through this portion of the stem, because that's the best wood for attachment. But I want to beef up everything. I'm going to make it wider, because I was using shims, but now I'm going to make it wider. But instead of having shims, gluing the shims onto this here. You'll see what that means in a second. I'm almost there. So next up is the jigsaw. So I'm going to use epoxy to glue all this in. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but that's not a bad fit. So I'll trim that up, and that'll become the filler for that little piece. And now I'm putting the whole thing together. I've mixed up some West Systems epoxy, and I'm going to touch both sides, and then I'll place that in there. That's just a filler. And I've already done some test fits. Got lots of green tape to protect the rest of the boat. And here come my newly created, fresh shims that I'm gluing now to the remaining stem. And this is waterproof plywood, which is what I should have been using from the beginning. So full coverage with the epoxy. Oops. And we'll put it all together, make sure it's all lined up properly, and then clamp it for 24 hours. So you notice that shim is higher than the wood that's there, because I am going to be putting in one more piece. And this will help kind of build a bit of a bulky stem that will hopefully do the job. So the second piece is going in now. And there we go. And soon I'll have to slide in that last piece to fill it. Lots of epoxy. So here I'm going to just cover the 3 sides of this piece of wood that's been carefully pre-cut to the right size. And then we'll place it in and clamp it up. And in it goes. I'll have to open a little bit. There we go. And start lining it up to make sure it's in the right position. Wipe up some of the excess and clamp. I'll put on some parchment paper just to protect my clamp a little bit and make it easier to remove.